Welcome along to an F1 Clash video of a little bit of a difference. Today we are talking about that dreaded word matchmaking, but with a slight twist. So make sure you stay watching because this video is going to be very, very good for information purposes for you. So back end of last season in F1 Clash 2023, going into the new season, Hutch made some specific changes to matchmaking. No, I'm not talking about the matchmaking where you get players that are slightly stronger than you and players that you might get more often. We're not talking about that. What we are talking about today is specific matchmaking to each series. Now, through my time on YouTube and in Discord, I see some crazy matchups that are alive and kicking in duels, and the most common reason for these types of matchmaking is designed and on purpose by Hutch. And what we'll do is we'll explain straight into it exactly what we mean. So Hutch created a bot in every single series, and that bot has a team score attached to it. Now the bot with the team score is roughly where Hutch recommend that you are when you're racing the series. So when we go through these series one by one, we're going to give you the details of these Hutch bots, and I want you to take this away because that's where you should be. Now I expect, give or take, around about 10% of this Hutch bot above or below, and you will be able to be just fine. Now you might be a very skilled player and you still be able to win. Great. But this is roughly where you are going to need to be. So let's start all the way down in Series 1. Now what do our Hutch bots look like? And it's quick to call out that guest accounts, when you see it, can still be guests. It is not always easy to distinguish a Hutch bot. So let's go for Series 1. To be competitive in Series 1, this is the matchmaking that you are looking at. Now yes, just to prove the point of these Hutch bots, I have a 1438 team score against Series 1 120. The competitive team score for the Hutch bot in Series 1 is 120. If you are around that team score, just under, just below, you're going to be pretty competitive. This just shows you the difference in the matchmaking, and it works the other way as well when we come to the later series. You will really see how I mean, and we'll give you a big summary at the end also. So then, let's say you want to go from Series 1 to Series 2. Which do you need to be team score wise at Series 2 for this tyre management series? It is 283. So from before, it was a good solid 120. We now want to be roughly at 283 team score in Series 2. That is what Hutch recommend their bot. You see they are all a guest account. They don't have any pictures, and that remains the same through the whole thing. So around 280, you're probably looking at 260 to 300 range there for your Series 2. That's where you want to be able to be pretty competitive. So obviously this is designed so you don't go too high in the series on a lone team score. So if I was to enter it with 100 team score now, the chances are you are getting this 283 bot unless somebody is running with the same team score. So you've got to be very careful. Series 3 is the speed series, so you obviously want some speed on your car setup, and the competitive team score range really is 460. So up from the 200 ranges, we are now moving into 460 for the Hutch bot. So if you're good, I don't know, 10% lower than 460, your chances are you're going to get this bot. The same if you're roughly more than 10% above. Hutch haven't, I don't think, confirmed that it's a 10% range of matchmaking, but rule of thumb, that's what we tend to see quite commonly. So 460 is a good idea for Series 3. Moving on to Series 4, it's all about your overtaking drivers, which is key in Series 4. And the Hutch bot will be triggered usually if you're well under or well over the team score of 551. So from the 400s, we are into Series 4, and we want to be around the 551. That will trigger either a Hutch bot or it will trigger a normal player. So 551, you're probably looking at 500 to 600 there. You'll be okay in that series. But you can see team scores flying up through now as well for these hutch bots. But all designed to stop you struggling. If you get to 400 and you get into series 4, you're going to struggle, and that is why. You could win some races, but that is designed to slow you down, make you level up the parts so that you can then match off and race properly. We don't want to see too many disadvantaged matchups. Series 5 then, the turn tactics, all about cornering, and it sees us have a team score matchup for the hutch bot of 637. So hopefully you're getting real players or you're getting real player bots, but in this case, because we're so far over the team score, we are triggering the bot, and that is 637 for Series 5. So yeah, anything 600 to 700, probably even 580 to 700, you're going to be okay in that series. Series 6 then, we move on to Race Start, all about your Race Start drivers, and what do we need to do? 732 is the team score, so if you're well below or well above, you'll be triggering the hutch bot, another guest account with no picture, designed to be in each series at the recommended team score, and as you can see here, 732 up in Series 6. We are shortly coming on to a different one though, which will interest you. Series 7, Power Play, all about the power unit setup in Series 7, and your hutch bot is sitting at 816, so you can still get this if you're close and there is no players around available to match, but 816, you will be competitive and in a good position over in Series 7. Series 8, one of the most difficult ones on the F1 Clash series calendars, and it's defending. All about that defending driver for you here in Series 8 with a team score recommendation of around that 908. So you're looking at around 800 to 1,000 that you're probably going to be sitting in for Series 8. Series 9, and this is where the change happens. This is where you can still get this in any other series. So I, with my 1400 team score, went and raced in Series 9. So you would expect that Series 8 being 900, you're probably at 990 something. Bang. I got a real player account and I got a bot. So the reason for this matchup is because there is a player, example A here, that is currently racing down in Series 9 roughly when I was trying to find a match. Because that rival is racing in Series 9, it opens up the possibility to match that player's bot, and it will be the same in any other series. If there's no one currently racing in any other series who is around your team score level, you'll get the bot. In this case, you can see this player was racing Series 9 and I am in that team score range to be able to match with this player. So 1310. Now we compare that to the hutch bot. 997 is the recommendation in this series. So your players are going to be around that. I am currently around 950 on Series 9 at the moment on the free-to-play account, running absolutely fine. It is tough, it is challenging, and that's how it's supposed to be. So you're looking at, again, around that 900 to probably just under 1,100. I think the most common one I see in Series 9 is about 1,050 for your matchup in Series 9. But it just shows you, if another real player does race in the lower series with a higher matchup, you can still match them if you're in their range. Series number 10, currently on rotation. It's about that defending for Series 10, or is it cornering? We'll race through. It is cornering, sorry. So cornering for Series 10, and the recommendation team score 1144. So as soon as you've finished Series 9, you'll be around 1,050, and you'll be in range of that hutch bot as you move towards the progression for Series 10. So yeah, again, that is where you roughly want to be. Around 10% below or over is the expected from our side players, where we see the competitiveness. Series 11, Grand Slam being rotated at the moment, currently sitting on overtaking for drivers. Now the recommendation for Series 11 is 1,324 team score. So you can see, look at the team score matchup, 288. So this is what a lot of players see when they try and race in a higher series when their team score is too low. So on purpose, I am on 288 team score. However, I have matched up with 1,324. Now, this can happen in smaller ranges, but this is an extreme example. And as you can see, the hutch bot is not allowing me to be able to progress because my team score is too low. So the recommendation is to drop back down your series, level up, and then move back up. You will notice a difference once you start getting these bots and you start getting real to bot players. You are going to be absolutely fine. And then team score for series 12, bot currently sat at 1,523. Now, you should know by champions that the recommended team score is 1,500 above, and that is the equivalent of series 12 is champion GP. So this is roughly spot on, 1,523 for the hutch bot. You're about 10%, you're pretty much going to be in the range of that one if you fall outside. So you can still get that one. I could get that one with the same team score at 1.5. It just depends how many real players or bots are racing, but that is the competitiveness for Series 12. So it's all about understanding why you might be getting some of these guest accounts in your series. And then finally, to finish off, a lot of information, no racing, but good information for you. We finish with this, and it is currently the guide on the team scores summarised for you. So we've got Series 1 through to 12 on the left-hand side, and we've got the team score that associated with the hutch bot and the competitiveness next to that from 120 all the way up to 1523. And you can see on the right-hand side then we've got the graph just to show you how we steadily increase the more we go through the series. You can see it's pretty much an even increase until you get to that series 10, 11, 12, where it does start to really jump up and probably get a little bit more difficult for you. So that is your team score versus series. That is you understanding your matchmaking a little bit better and as to why you may be getting some of them rough accounts. But hopefully that has helped you know which team score you need to be roughly at each series in F1 Clash.